Vine was in the kitchen trying to keep herself busy, trying a new recipe she found out on the internet. She married to Jungkook last week, who was a single dad. It was an arranged marriage set up by her family. He had a son, a 5-year old. Jimin, Jungkook's 5-year-old son, sat at the table drawing pictures. Despite the fear she had of Jungkook, she found comfort in the little innocent presence of the boy. He was cute and a fluff ball. She wanted to squeeze. Ryan, do you want more juice, Jimin? Jimin, yes. He stood up and ran towards her with his drawing, showing it to her. Ryan, wow, Jimin, you're so talented. But last time there was only you and Daddy. Who is this pretty lady? Jimin, Mama, Daddy says you are my mama. When he looked up at her with twinkling eyes and chubby smile, Wine melted right there and gave him his juice. Wine, yes, I am. I'll give you all the love. She kissed his head, and right then she felt a pair of eyes on her. She turned to see Jungkook standing in the doorway, his gaze intense and unreadable. Her heart skipped a beat. She was scared of him. She hardly knew him before wedding, and just his aura was enough to scare her. She would hardly talk to him or demand anything. She felt like he would get mad so quickly. Jimin, Daddy! He ran to Jungkook, who picked him up and kissed his head. The kid got busy playing with his father's shirt buttons, while Jungkook's eyes shifted to Wine. She quivered under his gaze, instantly getting back to her work. Since she got married, she had a lot of free time, and so she decided to spend it one way or another. Jungkook, Wine, come with me, he said, his voice deep and commanding. She glanced at Jimin, whom Jungkook put in front of the table again as he got busy with his drawing. She then followed Jungkook out of the kitchen. He led her to his study, a room she had only seen in passing. Once inside, he closed the door, and the silence between them was thick with unspoken words. Jungkook, you have been avoiding me. Wine, I wasn't, I was just trying to adjust. Everything is still new to me. Jungkook took a step closer, his eyes never leaving hers. Jungkook, you're scared of me, but you shouldn't be. I told you, I'll take care of you. Wine, I know. It's just, everything is so overwhelming. She played with her fingers as he moved closer to her. No matter how scared she was of him, she was still attracted towards him. A great deal. He reached out, lifting her chin so she had to meet his gaze. His thumb caressed the corner of her lips, the touch so commanding yet gentle. Wine was confused how to take it. Jungkook, there is nothing to be scared. I won't hurt you. I'll help you adjust only if you stop avoiding me. She nodded, agreeing to it, then her breath caught in her throat at his next move. He moved closer to her ear, sniffing her hair. Jungkook, I've been obsessed with your lips since our first night. I don't think I'll ever get enough of them. They drive me crazy. Before she could respond, his lips were on hers, capturing them in a searing kiss. It was possessive and demanding, but there was tenderness underneath that, made her knees weak. His hands moved to her waist, pulling her closer, and she found herself melting into his embrace despite her fear. When he finally pulled back, they were both breathless. He rested his forehead against hers, his eyes half flooded with desire. Jungkook, you're mine, Ryan, and I'll protect you. But your lips, they belong to me. She felt the shivers running down her spine at that. As his fingers traced down her cheek, she blushed and nodded. Jungkook pecked her lips again, and right then there was a tiny knock at the door. Jimin, Daddy! The two pulled away, and Wine fixed her hair. Jimin entered through the door, having a hard time opening it with his tiny arms filled with several toys. Jimin, found you! He giggled excitedly and rushed to his parents and handed them both with a toy train. Jimin, that's for you, and that's for you, and that's mine. Wine, why is yours bigger than ours? Jimin, because I'm small. I want a big train. Wine chuckled and picked her up, walking over to couch and settled down on it. Jungkook noticed they seemed quite closed and was at relief. At least things at home were going good. He took a seat beside Jimin and did as the kid asked him to, driving the train all around the table. Wine looked pretty into it, the way her eyes sparkled and how she smiled big, while Jimin made him wonder if he was a little too rough with her. Jimin, Mama, will you stay with us forever? Wine, yes, my baby, I'll always stay with you, forever. Jimin caught on her lap and snuggled in. He yawned in tiny and closed his eyes. Jungkook, and with me? He asked, putting a hand on her cheek. Wine, yes, and with you. He pecked her lips, earning a smile from her in return. It was a new feeling, and he swore he was going to give it a lot in the future.